Yeah.
All right. Everyone, is yours okay now?
Perfect on this end.
Yeah. Barrister, is yours okay now?
Yes, thank you.
Good. Right. Miguel,
Well, okay, crew. No,
very fine. Yeah.
Nicholas, we're expecting you the other day in church.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, we're looking forward to see.
Honestly, yeah, I'm working at the moment. I
All right.
was going to talk to the pastor about this basically, but
All right.
I'm setting up a new business.
Oh, that's
Um,
good.
I I met another data analyst, which is really strange. I met another data analyst. We started talking
Mm.
about data analytics, and he's looking to set up. I used to work in kitchens,
Okay.
and he's setting up a new kitchen, so he wanted some help with the menu,
Oh,
and
good.
it's really kicked off. So I've
Mm.
been there virtually every day. I was going to talk to Pastor about this anyway. Like
Oh,
the
that's good.
coincidence is crazy. It's crazy.
I,
Yeah.
I wish you all the
Yeah. So
best.
I've just
Yeah.
say that again. Sorry.
So I wish you all the best. We wish you all the
Thank
best.
you. Thank you.
Mm.
It's been full on. Like I've been
Mm.
working every day basically.
Oh,
Every
that's
day.
good. That's
So
good. Provided
that's
the money is coming in.
Yeah, well, there's no money coming in yet, but it does look that when we start, it
Mm.
looks profitable.
Oh,
It
good.
looks really, really good, but it for the first, let's say, 3 months, it's just hard work. It's just hard
yes.
work.
Hopefully, anything
It's
kitchen should be very good. I mean,
Mm,
should be a lot of money.
it depends. If you as an entrepreneur, you need to have the DNA and trait of entrepreneurship. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
on that basis, you won't have any problem. So
Mm-hmm.
there are so many factors that affect entrepreneurship. Entrepreneur is also part of it, and you need external factor to adapt to, apart from
okay,
apart from the internal strength you need to have. So you need to carry out SWOT analysis and also carry
yeah.
PESTO analysis. So
Pesto analysis. I don't know that one.
okay, that has something to do with write it down E
Pete
S
Pest PES
And then TLA.
pestle. Okay, pestle
PESTO
analysis.
analysis, yeah. PESTO analysis
E
is one. The P stands for political, E stands for economic factor, and
economic
yeah, S stands for social factor,
pestle.
and P stands for technology, and L stands for legal, and the other one stands for environmental. Okay.
Yeah, that's really important to know.
Yeah, those are most cases external factor that affect every businesses. And, most especially when it comes to SME, know the concept of SME?
The concept of SME.
Yeah. SME means small, medium scale businesses, okay, enterprise. So
Yeah,
SME means small, medium enterprise.
small
So
medium. Yeah,
yeah, so that is if you want to revive the economy of a country, you need to develop SME. And SME will be one taking care of the lower cadre, while they are feeding the higher big guns of companies. So
yeah,
now revive the economy. As an entrepreneur, you must have a DNA to adapt to external factors, which most cases macroeconomics, and you having internal factor that you can control, which is like SWOT analysis, knowing your
yeah,
weaknesses and um, knowing your strength as well. So you take opportunity of the take take advantage of the opportunity made available, which is the P, and which is the O, and mitigate against the threats that are available. You can control those factors.
Yeah.
Yeah, but when it comes to pestle, which is of course in the macroeconomics, sometimes such environment can be volatile. In most cases, consider the contemporary issues in modern times are going on globally. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
That makes a lot of sense. That's a lot.
Yeah, that is I'm consulting on that, so that's not a problem. Yeah, and can always relate with anyone based on that.
That is amazing.
Yeah. So we talk about more.
Yeah, please. We need to talk about that. I was going to call you anyway about it. So.
Okay. Anyway, welcome everyone. Today, as somebody asking me, it seems you are in Bahamas, sir, going by your background. Thank you. Bahamas.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's nice. He's all right. Yeah. That's pretty sick.
All right, you're welcome, everyone. Getting somebody reacted. Okay, so today we're not going to waste time. We're going to deal with some advanced issues, topics, and with how we have reached, we need to know certain things in data governance and advanced issues. So it's like assuming you've been employed. They ask you some few questions technically that what is a data governance maturity model you have? What will you do?
Can you repeat that question, Rose, real quick? What is the data analyst model? Oh, government.
Sunday chat boss.
What is it?
So in this, we are actually technical talking about the maturity stage. Okay. So if they ask what is a data governance maturity model, okay. All right. So it's basically, you have the answer there. It's a framework to evaluate and improve governance practice over time. That's what it means, over time.
Okay.
Okay, that means, in your roadmap, you have 30, 30, 60, and 90. So the model of data governance in terms of maturity, talking about 90 and above. So as at that, you're optimizing. So optimizing, and I'll keep on improving and improving. So
Okay.
why do we need improvement all the time? Why do we need improvement all the time? Is there any reason why we need improvement all the time?
Life itself is sorry.
That's the wrong
It's
one.
nothing. The only thing that is life itself is not static. So there's always room for development, evaluation, technology, creativity, training, and because things are changing day in day. In fact, every minute there are changes, left, right, and center. And that's the only way we could actually improve. That's why we have development in organized establishments. Okay.
Thank you so much. That is basically the answer. I have no word again to add to it. So we should always put it in our minds. So maturity is not static. Maturity is dynamics. Most especially in a involving environment where you see contemporary issues always moving from one to globally. I think if you understand globalization and internalization, you need to know that there must be synergy of a company with respect to those two concepts.
Mm.
Very, very important. Okay. You know, I think Barrister said it all. And
I'd like to add to Barrister's what he said. Due to data history and other data that we get, we can also identify that the policies have to be, they can't be rigid. They have to be flexible in order to meet up to the task, which is still projecting through the stakeholders' needs and also the customer consuming duties as well. So definitely it has to, with live data going up and down, you just have to measure the algorithms of how it comes in. You just have to look into it and see how best policies can be improved in order to maximize potentials. That's all.
absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you for supporting Barrister on that. I think the right way to put it is that the operations and the procedures and processes, not excluding policies, should be more robust enough to accommodate the ever-evolving or complexity of data that you handle, most especially if you are scaling or having scalability. Yeah, that's cool. It depends on how you're going to be putting everything. But the main thing is that people should have concept that there's need for ever improving. That is a best practice. That's a best practice. So why is it that all the tech, they are improving all the tech company, they are improving their systems? Who, first of all, let's assume that we have Samsung and we have an iPhone. Why is it that they will improve or have a new update of their operating system, iOS and Android? Why? And
To
then
protect their data.
they protect their data and also to say they fix bugs. Who actually created those bugs? Those bugs that they need fixing. So don't forget that someone who can create, he can create good and bad,
Mm.
So I got so much to talk about this, but I just feel like, So
Oh, Pastor, on the news, did you see what came up on the news today on BTC?
BTC?
Oh, yes, it's on the news.
Oh,
A hacker got into their database and was able to transfer a huge amount of funds out of the BTC account
oh yeah,
today.
yeah. I heard of that, but LBC kind of
Yeah.
heard of it. It's a lot of cryptocurrency. That's the biggest ever
Yep.
cryptocurrency fraud in the world.
Huge amount left this morning.
Oh,
A huge amount from the branch in Dubai.
wow.
Yep.
I think they should employ Nicholas to
They
come and
got
sort.
away with it.
They should come and sort Nicholas. They should come and employ Nicholas to deal with issues. Anyway, so I am not, I'm having a disclaimer, so I'm not saying anybody who is internal person maybe involved, but there's nothing like that happens that they are not connected with some internal people. So, but in this case, I try to have a disclaimer if not put in a context that way. So this is how it goes anyway. All right. So then, thank you so much. I want everyone to take every little thing that has been put in this place during the training very, very serious because things are changing seriously rapidly.
Okay.
So now, how does AI impact data governance?
Very good question. I mean, I reckon it would definitely affect the
I know,
security.
I know it's a very good question. That's why now that's issues.
It's true.
Yeah. How does it?
It predicts, or better still, I can only speak from the prediction side of things in terms of data science. Hello? Hello?
Hello? I think we might have lost him.
I can't hear Pastor anymore. I think we lost him.
I think we lost him. Give him a minute. I think he'll be back.
Yeah. Maybe it's network or it's something.
Yeah. I've been having network issues as well, so I think it might be networking issues. Like my internet's in and out a little bit, so maybe
Yeah.
so maybe it's
And funny enough, we're live right now on YouTube. I'm looking at it.
ah
Oh yeah,
Yes, we are.
we are on live. Yeah,
We're live.
Yeah. So yeah. So how does AI impact data governance?
I was saying is leaning more into linking more with data science in terms of prediction.
Yeah.
On how data comes and how it's executed.
Yeah.
Also in line with the technology out there today.
Okay. Engineer Lewis, thank you for your contribution. Yeah.
I mean,
can
Pastor.
Yeah.
Hello, can you hear me?
I can hear
Oh,
you.
madam, yes, finish first.
Okay. It can help in better standardization. In other words, things like formatting, organizing the data, um, scalability. I think, well,
wow.
AI can help in all that.
Okay. What I wanted to ask, Pastor, like this morning they said on Sky News, is an AI contributor to this? They said something about Zelensky that he's low on the poll, and then Sky News actually say that US is actually wrong by saying he's low on the poll in terms of objective of the country, leading them, while as on Sky News they said on their own poll he has 40%. So, and I'm just wondering, in a country where there's war, how does AI play in that in terms of analytic results? How are they able to go around the country when there's chaos everywhere?
Yeah, depends
So, how
on.
accurate is that data?
Well, the thing is that when you see data before, you can talk about that. Because if you don't see data, you cannot know whether accurate or not accurate. Okay, so first of all, we need to classify the kind of data they have.
Okay.
Okay, the data collection, it goes in, either primary or secondary. So how are they getting secondary data based on that? Or are they getting primary, or are they having mixed method to get those data? It's about information collection.
Hmm.
They carry a survey, they carry an interview, or they'll carry out maybe questionnaires. So it's the public domain. We know how this guy operates and say what you need to say openly.
Okay.
So, yeah, so who are the people, who are the participants? And how did you handle the participants? Did you anonymize their name? So there are so much things that can come in. Opinion upon opinion. The question is that, like as you said, someone is in a war zone at the moment, always speaking. So what do you think? So the data can be in front of me before I will now analyze the data, whether they are, even first of all, we can look at whether how reliable and validable, with the validity of those data as well matters. So you need to check the sources of those data. You see, if there's disparity between the one in America and what BBC said, then there's a problem already. There's a problem already.
Okay, sir.
So if these data are before me, before I can say whether which one is right or not. Okay. Barrister hand is up before. Okay, yeah, he put something right there.
Yeah, if you could read what I've written there.
So AI data governance plays a critical role in ensuring the ethical and responsible development and deployment of artificial intelligence system by setting standards for data quality, privacy, and security, thereby mitigating risk, promoting transparency, and upholding compliance with regulation, ultimately ensuring trustworthy AI outcomes. Yeah, just to complement what if he said as well. He
used the word trustworthy.
Yeah, trustworthy, talking about integrity.
Okay.
So yeah, that's it.
That's the answer.
So yeah, we have the answer given here, they are correct. I just want to put a short one there too. AI automates data quality checks, classification, and anomaly detection, which of course, this issue, because most interview before they were not coming to this, but now interviews are coming to this direction. That's why I say top advanced issues. So what is the role of a machine learning governance? So right now, in terms of data governance, what is the role of machine learning in governance? Okay. What is the role of machine learning in data governance?
Machine learning and governance.
Yeah.
That can only come from a I'm not saying I know the answer, but potentially, from what I can learn, I'd look. Would it just help with efficiency?
I would say machine learning. The advantage towards data governance is that it maximizes time, or rather, in terms of efficiency, we're coming up with a solution. For instance, the assignment you gave us last year in regards to critical, minimal, and in terms of timeline of when issues can be handled. Machine learning, if all these data are imputed into a program, it could easily make this done, whereby prioritizing and saving the company cost in terms of delays,
Right.
in terms of delays of response, or suggesting other impediments that can be put in place to avoid the company being in such situations. But these are other data that can be imputed into a program about especially if they are checking the history of the company, that a certain position or certain policy needs to be constantly checked. It also gives the data governance an insight on how frequent some policies need to be checked as well, keeping every policy in top-notch conditions to be followed or processes to be followed, and also making sure the metadata is metadata is executing the roles of the data governance.
Thank you. Thank you. Right. Okay. That's very good. Yeah. When you hear of machine learning, first of all, we need to understand what is machine learning. We all understand what is machine learning?
Yeah.
Okay. So it basically is a subset, it's a part of artificial intelligence. So that enables computers to learn from data. That's what it is.
Okay.
And make predictions or decisions without being explicitly programmed. So that is what's called machine learning is. So it uses statistical techniques and algorithms to identify patterns, improve over time, and adapt to new data. So like trained, that is what it means. So you use it like as let me just put something right there for you to machine learning.
Parts I have some already here with me. For instance, when we call out to any company or customer service, a machine, the voice machine picks up the phone.
That's correct.
And it tells you press 1 for this already. Now, when these things are put in place, it's kind of like, especially in this in our time and era where tax rates are going up for our employees and they're trying to minimize costs.
Yeah.
A department where a function of 10 people are there, the machine learning comes in, is a big investment, but it cuts down that staff force to about 4. Now, it's not now. If you look at it, this was a job handled by 10 staffs, but now 4 people are handling it. It puts it from the human side of things. It puts out there's workload on those 4 people because they're not handling 10 people's job. But when they introduce the machine learning, it minimizes the workload in terms of, you don't have to do everything. Since there are other departments connected to you guys, I can take this job to them, and that way your workload becomes lesser. It now looks as if you're doing 10 jobs, but more of the efficient of 4 people.
That's
very,
correct.
very easier. Yeah, that's what machine learning
Yeah,
comes in place.
Yeah, just like what if you put on an automated system.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's just, for example, you are speaking with someone and you sent a query, chatbot, someone
Yeah.
from
Pastor, there is a downside to machine learning itself.
Of course, I mean, yeah, of course, not many people want
There's
to.
There's a lot to it. Yeah.
Customer service reaction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some people come the most. It is
knows the stuff.
It's not in it is the end thing now in our era, but the world has not fully moved into machine learning that much. Some people like to talk to people directly instead of talking to a machine.
Yeah,
and it does this. It is more to the youths or those who are more intellectual into tech. Most old people, no, they don't want it. They prefer that's why shops like Tesco's and the rest they allow you shop online and they deliver to your doorstep, but people just like to come out and interact with people, so they like to go into the shops.
It's about preference anyway.
Exactly. So see what Tesco is doing. They're targeting both the young and the old together.
Yeah. It's a preference, and at the same time, we create room for inclusivities.
Yes, thank you.
People's in preference, yeah. So when you look at it as if it's the automated system, so that machine also played a very, very, very good role, as I put right there in data governance.
Tesco has really gone wild. Yeah, even I noticed one time I went in there and there was this scanner guns that you can actually shop within your budgets and just go to the till and pay and leave. Yeah. Even in B&Q as well, you scan the barcodes, you get all your shop lists, yes, if you're going above, yeah, okay, you're going above. And then you can just do your plus and minus there and just go to the till and leave. While as just instead of shopping things that you feel you like, and then go to the till and find out you can't afford to pay for all of it. And you now save, you now have to take them off the till, given the person at the till to now have to take it back to the shelves. So in order to reduce the stress on the staff, you can just pick, if you want only, they don't enforce it. If you want, you pick up the gun and not, I keep calling it a gun, a device, let me use a device, and you scan the barcodes, and it gives you what you're buying and how much it's going to cost you before you go to the till.
Oh yeah, so it's a new system over there. Everyone else that is operating with that.
Yeah, okay. Oh, you've noticed it has that now. Okay.
Yeah, even you that is using it, they have to get your data.
Yeah,
before you can
exactly.
use it anywhere in the world. If you have us that somewhere and you go to another somewhere, another town, you can use it because you have your data already. So that's not a problem at all. It's a development, it's a machine learning system. So right now, let's keep it in context in terms of data governance before we look at every other sector with respect to machine learning and what the role does in what it does in data governance. So now, like for example, data governance, we kind of say it helps in improving decision making. How?
Are you still talking about machine learning or just data governance as a whole?
I'm still talking about machine learning in data governance.
Okay, machine learning helps in
decision
making more informed decision.
How?
In terms of direction or response to the consumers, on how the company itself projects their views in terms of the services, and the response from them will help them shape up the company on how it is easily accessible, but which is why data is very, very important. So with the help of how people give feedbacks, it gives you, like you said, anything about data, if you can't measure it, then definitely that's not data. It has to be data is anything that's measurable. So feedbacks itself from other companies on how intercommunication comes into place to get an objective is quite vital. And if there's a fault in it, this is where the machine learning comes in to help. And instead of employing people or employing a particular department to do investigation, the machine learning makes it a lot more easier that, okay, look towards this direction. This is where it's come, because data governance is quite broad. And sometimes it might take a while for you to narrow down why a certain factor is happening. And that way you can, the machine learning just gives you a direction that look at that direction. That should be where you'll be looking at. So it saves time. Let me put it that way.
Okay. The reason why I'm asking, thank you so much for that contribution. And those who already put on the chat box, we're talking about decision making specifically. Okay. We need to look at the models itself of machine learning, analyzes socio-economic and environmental data to help policy makers make informed decisions. That is what it does in decision making, and also it helps in predictive analytics. So that predictive analytics, before you get to predictive analytics, you must have descriptive anyway to forecast the impact of policy before implementation. So that talking about decision.
It also helps in from unauthorized access.
Yes.
So with machine learning, not everyone's got access to the system. It can actually narrow down whatever access you have to that particular system compared to human learning.
Are you talking about streamlining?
Yeah. Yes. In machine learning.
Are we addressing the need to know basis?
No, we're addressing the policy making decisions in terms of machine learning. So that's what we're addressing at the moment, because it has so many advantages. It has many importance, the influences that it has with respect to data governance, but how does it play out in policy decision making? So I put an answer right there now at the moment because I have so much to deal with on that angle before we close for today. Because I can tell you, some people went for interview and these are the things they asked them. And the interview is becoming very strong now and different. That's why I say advanced issue, because with involving contemporary issues in modern times, with respect to digital, world, right now data becomes the driver, and they are now beginning to look at how AI could be incorporated within the governance of data itself. Now, if you're a data governance manager, you also know a lot about data analytics, and then how will you relate issues? How do we incorporate or integrate such concept of the ML with data governance and still continue to manage the governance of the data itself? So this is why I'm dealing with this issue right today. And I don't forget, I say everyone within the sound of our voice right now should take this aspect very important. So we're going to deal with other aspect of other sector as well, like the fintech and the health setup that probably will not close today. So how does ML, machine learning in governance, deal with fraud detection and anti-corruption?
Okay.
You want me to help through so that we can move fast?
Yes, I don't mind if you can, but I'm just trying to compose myself properly in my head.
Well, okay. When it comes to credit cards with machine learning, they're able to detect credit card fraud. They're able to detect things like money laundering or even what do you call this? Forensic trading? Inside trading with machine learning, and they're also able to combat things like financial corruption by government officials. Because when everything is automated, you know what is going in and what is coming out. So, and also we saw that in Nigeria, even though it wasn't upheld, we saw the electoral shambles that took place recently, where people were counted who were not there and all that. So these are all the things where they brought in these machines, according to the government officials, that were meant to help combat fraudulent voting, even though it wasn't used that way. But at the end of the day, when the results were made transparent for everyone to see, they found that there were some things that were not meant to be in there. So that could have only come through machine learning. Just imagine if someone has to go around counting people for elections or counting people for census purposes, for population counting. It will be almost a near impossible task, especially with a very large country and on very large landscapes. But with machine learning, be able to automatically do this, put a machine there, tell people to feed into the system, tell people to go to different offices, and everything gets fed into one central database.
Yes.
So that's one of the things that machine learning has helped to combat when it comes to fraud.
Yep, I could bring up a case study as well. I mean, through our the insurance part of it where I work.
Don't call the company name.
I'm gonna call the company name, definitely. I'm not doing that. But machine learning. I wanted to ask you a question, Pastor. These machines, are these just systems or are these softwares? And what we gathered, because they held a seminar, and due to the data they received, now there was the policies put in place for the company itself. The companies the policies put on the company itself is to protect what's it called, vehicles, but due to the constant theft, Now, the data governance aspect of it, they now had to go into these policies and create new policies in order to protect people who steal these cars, if I can put it that way. There are a lot of things out there now, and a lot of people can come up with very funny ways of how they can steal cars. For instance, they'll tell you keys are missing. Oh, and I've broken down. Normally, there's a policy for that, which is to get the vehicle to the dealership and get it reprogrammed. Most theft people don't like that because they know there's going to be the more they spend time on the car, the more it will be detected that it's a stolen car, even if we do not know. So policies now come in and they'll say, oh, if you notice this is happening, do not just do this immediately. Take the vehicle straight to the dealership. Let them handle it. And most people, most customers, or let me not use the word customers, most people who are thieves do not like that. And that's how you can tell when you suggest that solution to them that, okay, are your cars, some of them, they even go as far as even saying, oh, I've lost my key, but my spare key is at home. And then being that you have the customer's position and you know everything, you now compare the distance from where they are to their home. I say, okay, do you have a spare key at home? And if they say yes, it's okay. I'll get you a taxi to go get your spare key. And then you can take your vehicle back to the dealership and get another key. Immediately they reject that. That's a red flag.
Yeah.
It's a red flag. So these are machine learning due to these data they get from either the police database or whatever. I don't know, but it comes down to all these things. So machine learning does help to for other policies to be or rather machine learning helps to point out policies that needs constant reviewing.
Yeah, so that's among those one, but in the context they're talking about fraud detection and anti-corruption. So
yeah,
we're taking it little by little. I think we finished that on the policy. That's a very typical example. If you are working in the detectives, you can easily get to know what has been what have been stolen or not, especially those who are cutting keys. They'll say, can I have your Lancer, can I have your logbook for the car? Or can I, it's not here. You want me to carry it to get this thing so that I can cut or put the plate number? He said, no, then you should know that something's wrong somewhere else. So this kind of fraud, just an example that you, engineer Lewis, just gave now. So yeah, so those are, thank you so much for that complimentary aspect, the first part of your contribution, and FA, giving example of fraud and corruption. So in most cases, like Louis, you said something, they use algorithms to detect things, okay, without receiving explicit advice from the set, because they will learn from data that made available that is being fed to them. Don't forget, it's also AI as well. So they have all these irregular, if there's irregular financial transaction, you receive a message from your bank. Did you use it? Did you use it? If you say yes, if you say no, then what do you want me to do? Most cases, there's where some of my payments, they were not authorized by my bank. So you say, how can thousands be leaving my account the same time, the same day? You just want to pay. If I want to pay so many things at a time, they will just come to me. I will just say yes, it goes.
Pastor, no, you don't even need to go there. Even look at the
No, I don't go there. You just send
the knife issue online on I said online on news.
Yeah,
the government knows there's no way they can tackle kids from getting access to these knives online if they want to purchase it, because someone else can do that for them. So they use the ultimate power they could use: bandits.
Yeah.
Now they say no more knife purchase online. You have to actually show ID to purchase it, and which will make it a lot more difficult for kids to get access to all these zombie knives that you can just order from AliExpress and the rest.
All right. So thank you so much for that example again. So we have smart governance and public service automation. Well, how can we take care of that? smart governance.
Right.
Yeah. So this is very important. Okay, let me just go in. Smart governance and public service automation. So what AI-driven chatbot does, and virtual assistant, that's what Louis had mentioned the other one. And we also talk about the automation principle and practice. So in terms of when you want to communicate with a company or with a public or private sector, they will say, "Oh, can I help? I'm here. I'm Lisa. Can I help?" Chatbot, bam. So then you need to follow them. Sometimes some people don't like answering them, just cancel, and they want to speak with people directly as well, because at the end of the day, when you begin to or get to some mistakes, say, sorry, I think you need assistance, you need to speak with assistant. They couldn't help you, just wasting your time sometimes. Okay. And it still depends on people's preference if they want to continue to have a discussion with anybody on chatbots. It may be machine, it's actually machine learning in most cases anyway. So because they work on data made available to answer you as well. But by the time you now query certain things, they say, sorry, you need assistance, book appointment. So there's the request for your number, and there's someone with that call based on that. So what about national security? Those who want to work in a secret service in this place. So,
National security in what?
national security and law enforcement. If those who want to work in secret service in this that are here.
Are you still talking about smart governance?
No, we moved from there already.
Okay.
I know you have a lot to talk about that, but you already
No.
you have already said anything concerning that. So if those who want to work in SSS in Nigeria, KGB, MI5, MI6, and city of metropolitan city within London, City of London, and those who are working with CIA and FBI. So how does machine learning helps in that? So in that, they use crime prediction models that help allocate law enforcement resources effectively. And I remember one of you here talking about insurance, not only one of you, talking about insurance and how they look at the demographic of the people, they look at what people can always do. Okay, they now deploy more police, in that area. Because there are some areas in this country, you don't see police for 2 weeks, 3 weeks. So you wonder whether you have police in that area. So they work with the statistics and
yes, crime rates.
Yeah, crime rates, yeah. So sometimes facial recognition and behavioral analytics assist in identify security threat. When you see somebody coming and look at the guy's face and look at how the person moving. Do you know some people, if they are driving car, if they see police behind them, they are no more composed anymore.
Yes, that's true.
Have you seen that before?
Loads of times.
So but by the time the police will be following them little by little, the next thing they just indicate as if they are entering a street and then they don't intend to enter. So you see the police will follow because they were not comfortable.
Not just the police, even at the airport.
At the airport.
Yeah.
People are well trained to study body language.
Yeah.
So you might think you're very smart, but there's somebody well trained that watches the way your eye moves and everything. And as soon as you get to a checkpoint, they just tell somebody else and they politely stop you, not creating a scene, just excuse their side and conduct their work.
Yeah, that's right. Okay. And that is a very big aspect of it in this modern time. So machine learning helps a lot. The machine learning sets in a camera, see the behavior of people moving, they will be alerting and say, well, you know what? Can you look at that person? Can you check on that person? So psychologically, they know, they identify from data what has always been happening, and they, feature themselves based on that. So when you talk about transparency and accountability, how does machine learning helps in governance. In terms of transparency and accountability. Don't forget, it's one of those characteristics that people must have in data governance.
Machine learning gives a source of data.
Yeah.
And also conducts what's it called, the FCA standard of storing data itself.
Yeah.
So there's except or based on there's a certain level of which data is stored there, whereas there's some certain database where all these data are archived, they're not thrown away.
Mm-hmm.
But in order to give accurate reading, the sources are defined, and I think that's it for now for me.
You try anyway.
Yeah.
So don't forget, we're talking about transparency and accountability. Okay. Now, if you have blockchain combined with machine learning, it can actually enhance transparency in public records and prevent data tampering. People tamper with data. Okay. So, yeah, Nicholas.
May I ask what I've heard of it before, but what is a blockchain?
Blockchain.
Mm.
Can anybody help with a blockchain? Do you know blockchain?
I've heard of it before, yes.
Unfortunately, I don't, sir, to be honest.
I've heard of it before, but I don't know the exact terminology of what it is. I know it's to do with computers. I know what code is, for example, but I couldn't tell you what blockchain is.
Is it something like is it something like transactions, when transactions take place? I don't know.
So basically, blockchain is actually a decentralized, secure, and transparent digital ledger technology. That's what it is.
What does that do?
You take records of transaction across multiple computers.
Okay.
Okay.
Could it be why when you take it one way instead of you're not supposed to take it, then you see so many pictures in different angles?
That's correct, because if you see the fintech and also even the headset that they have that. So what it does is that it eliminates the need for intermediaries, ensuring data integrity and reducing fraud. That's what blockchain is.
Perfect.
It's actually practically useful, in governance due to transparency and immutability and decentralization. So it enhances trust and integrity, reduce corruption, and streamline processes in both public and data governance. So when it comes to that, there are so much things that it does in terms of data governance application. You see, not only just transparency, also a secure voting system, like what if he was talking about the other time. Okay, so when if we were talking about the Nigeria voting system, she talked about the what's it called, the system put in place, and then someone went to go and tamper with it. But when you talk about blockchain enables tamper-proof. You can't tamper it at all. Voting. So actually ensuring fair election.
Okay. Yeah.
It reduces fraud, improves voter participation, and it allows real-time vote counting. Real-time, when we talk about real-time, it's real-time in data governance. So countries like Estonia, Switzerland have explored blockchain-based voting system.
Okay.
But probably we may have that in
Is there a disadvantage to it?
Sorry?
Is there a disadvantage to it apart from the positive side of it that you just mentioned?
I told you before that some time ago that they actually came for me to do something with Nigeria, something during good luck time. So we told them that we cannot, that they were asked that can we tamper with the system. I said, no, you can't alter it. So if you want to alter the system, you cannot alter it. It's a proof, it's a tamper proof. You can't tamper with it. So what it does, it gives public records and identify management system. For example, government can store birth certificate, land records, passport, and business registration on a blockchain. So when you click birth certificate, you see anything around, well, has that guy got land record, or the passport is has it got passport, or what is the passport number? Those are all blocked. You block it together in a chain, just like supply chain as well. So this is how it is. So it prevents document forgery and improves accessibility. So it's very useful as well in health sector, So even you can use it. Even Republic of Georgia use blockchain for land registry. You can use it for land registry. It also, like as I said, it helps in preventing fraud and anti-corruption as well. So, do you understand blockchain now?
Yes,
Absolutely,
I do, sir.
Yeah. Comprehensively.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Well, the one right now that is able, there's also blockchain in tracking environmental, social, and governance (SEG) performance in companies. So it provides transparency record of carbon credit, supply chain ethics, and sustainability goals. So when there are people now investing in blockchain. So investing in blockchain based on a ESG, which you call environmental, social, and governance ratings for ethical investing. In fact, I'm writing a thesis. I'm writing a paper on ESG with corporate at the moment. So
Yes, I'd like to have a copy.
That's wow. Okay.
Can we have a sneak peek?
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, I submitted 3,000 words yesterday. I'm going to write up to 15,000 on it. On the 26th, I think I was mandated to come and deliver one of this paper. Either I deliver this one on the 16th, or I deliver another one on the 16th at the moment. Okay. So I think we're supposed to go, but I think you want us to continue. But
I'm more interested in this blockchain, Pastor.
Let me just talk about blockchain a little bit, maybe extra 3 minutes. So I want you to understand blockchain is very, very important.
Yeah.
Like, for example, we have smart contracts for legal and regulatory compliance. So on that, what you do, you need to have a contract that's very smart and automatically execute agreement when predefined conditions are met. So when you have that, you use the corporate governance within the supply chain and regulatory compliance to reduce that human error in and corruption within your smart contracts. Someone can give you a contract now, tomorrow you change it without you knowing. Like there's a musician in Nigeria, the producer, they are having problem now. Why you change my contract? Why is it? Because they never had smart contract for legal and regulatory compliance. Okay, when you have it in a blockchain system, then nobody will do that. Some people have what is called self-executive contracts in procurement. Why? Because they want to ensure transparency. So, where we can also see that as example of supply chain, like I mentioned, the data supply chain sustainability resources management himself. So you see government using blockchain to monitor food safety. The food coming from farm to the table of Nicholas has to be monitored. We use that but there are a lot of things you find out even right from the farm. How do you think they detect mad cow disease? How do you get that there are some horse meat in a food chain of burger?
Yeah, how bird flu or whatever. How do they do that?
Yeah, it's because the supply chain is a blockchain.
Right.
So automatically we know what is going on. So that is why you see, Tesco, they'll say, oh, some food, there's something entered the food chain. And they'll say they recall every meat from that. Even it goes in the manufacturing as well. When they recall Toyota, insurance get to deal with that. Them Lewis get to deal with those things. So it's very important, supply chain. And, when it comes to that, how can you sustain that over time with respect to resources management? Because if you begin to have a recall, there's going to be issue of resources. How can you sustain that over time? Because there's blockchain. So they use blockchain to detect carbon emission and fair trade practices. Okay? Carbon emissions within a zone. If you look at your mobile phone, you're going to tell you this place emission in this place is high, emission in this place is low. Or they even tell you about humidity. Humidity in both is not the same as humidity in somewhere else. These are blockchain.
Right.
Okay. Pastor, in terms of organization and what needs to be done, for example, the one on the news on the Grenfell Tower, where some of the policies supposed to be blockchains, because at some point in time the media were going back and forth that why was this there, this was not there, that was not supposed to be there, and then who commissioned this? So in such situation, was blockchain supposed to be put in that?
You can use that to mitigate against such, because all what you are expected to do is to have transparency in issues that are arising from your partnership with the third party or whatever. But if they are not in a blockchain, how can we relate to it unifiedly? Because you have to relate to it as it is. So nobody should have exclusive definition of a policy outside what we have agreed.
Agreed, yes.
We have to be smart. Because it brings disparity and not only transparency issue or risk, also is very costly in terms of commercial obligations.
Okay.
Yeah. So, for example, the United Nations Food Program uses blockchain for refugee aid distribution because they know where the aid should go.
Right. Yeah. I hear you.
Oh.
It shows patterns. Yeah. That makes a lot of sense.
If it is diverted, they have a record that the food is diverted or some money are diverted. So that's why you see US today try to say
they cut most African countries off.
Because they use blockchain to know some people diverting the aid. People don't take decision anyhow. So they also have blockchain. In fact, the challenges and ethical consideration when you're dealing with blockchain is especially in scalability. Blockchain networks must handle large volumes of transactions efficiently. Otherwise, there's automatically a challenge. So privacy versus transparency is also part of it. So balancing public access and data confidentiality is always very crucial. So on that basis, you need to use blockchain effectively. So we also have regulations that the governments need clear laws on blockchain. They need to define their well-defined and highly communicated their blockchain in terms of their laws, their legal framework on blockchain governance and integration with existing local system. So if they don't, then there will be different people take advantage of the legal framework that some countries do have. Their weaknesses, and take advantage over them. So if you're a consultant, you should be able to know, for example, if you're doing CSR and sustainability, so then in a place where there is exploitation and not actually have a very strong, sustained, good governance with respect to CSR, then you need to arrange a very solid legal framework that can, though we know CSR is obligations, it's voluntary, but then there could be, minimally something that is expected within the jurisdiction of where any company operates in terms of social value, add the economic value, and environmental upholding. Upholding environmental that's suitable enough for people to stay within that jurisdiction of operation by the company itself. So it's very, very important. We talk about even energy consumption in terms of blockchain as well. Some blockchain networks like Bitcoin. Bitcoin?
Yeah.
Consume large amounts of energy. Bitcoin.
Really?
Oh yeah, a large amount of energy.
How though? Because they're all on.
They have to mine. They have to mine.
They got to mine Bitcoin, but they don't mean physically, no?
You don't understand that. So,
no, not at all. I've heard of these terminologies, but I don't necessarily. I don't fully understand it.
Let me shock you because you asked for more. Let me tell you something. There's the future of blockchain in governance right now. So, first of all, you see that government worldwide are kind of experimenting with central bank digital currency. They call it CBDCs.
The mark of the beast, yeah.
For transparent financial system, yeah. Right? That is future blockchain in governance now. So that require heavy data in digital. So you don't forget that in digital world, data is the driver of the digital world. So if government worldwide are trying to experiment with central bank data currency, in fact, you see, was the former prime minister, was his name, Rishi Sunak. Yeah, he was coming out with digital currency within the CBS, central bank. So when you talk about digital right now, you're talking about data-driven system, okay? So now this is a blockchain they want to make so that everyone, whatever your money is in the world, they will see it. You can't hide money.
I know. And it goes straight to the bank as well, like central bank. It doesn't go, it doesn't even, I've heard that. So it doesn't even, not everybody's got a branch.
That's it.
And normally your money would go straight to a branch. It just goes straight to the bank.
So forces will fight against it. They will not agree.
Yeah, so they fought against it. That is why you didn't come out now. Okay, let me shock you. We have one of the future of blockchain governance right now is about decentralized autonomous organization, which is DAOs. We know what that does. He redefined corporate governance in a more unique way within the blockchain system. So if your governance is not of a top, then automatically you need to redefine it. Yeah. So it helps people transparency as well. So anyway, AI now combined with blockchain, we enhance decision-making governance by automating compliance and fraud detection, like if it said the other time. I think it's a comfortable place for us to close for today.
Today was very, very interesting.
It was so, trust me, I was engaged. I couldn't stop listening. It was so good. It was good. And like, it's given me so much to think about. Like, I really, really enjoyed that. You know what, as well, yeah? Like, it makes me realize how much I don't know in a way. But it's just a good thing. It's such a good thing to be like, wow. I got wow today.
Pastor, these blockchains, who are those that create them?
It can be myself and you can create it.
Wow.
Yeah, see? That's why
we can create it. Yeah, we can create it because we want to.
So it could be 2 or 3 people creating a blockchain, but they have to agree on the policies and also make sure it's in compliance to the practice.
Standards, legal framework, regulatory. People like the barrister, people who are always guru in that. And so as long as we all try to...
that position is no joke.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's the future of AI combined with machine learning and also blockchain. I'm trying to tell you right now that because we trainers, trainer having expertise, we know what are contemporary issues right now and future trends that are going to happen. So we need to think ahead of time and put things together. This is what we're talking about now. Okay, so I just told you the future of AI with governance. And that is why I spend my time in all those things. Anyway, thank you for coming, and I love you all. Hope to see you the same time next week. I hope you learned
Oh, yeah.
something today.
Definitely. Definitely. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
But, all right.
Thank you.
I want
Well,
to, I don't know who is Peace and Thomas. Peace A. Thomas.
bye-bye.
Who is Thomas?
Sorry.
Say, Thomas.
Somebody's Peace. Thomas. Who is Thomas?
Oh, I think I know her. Peace.
Sorry?
Yes, the one from Nigeria. Thank you, Pastor.
Okay. Peace
Hello.
from Nigeria.
Good
Okay.
evening, sir. Thank you so much, Pastor.
Have you learned something today?
Yeah.
Yeah. Learned about blockchains.
Okay. Please, you have access to my phone. You can phone me. Okay. We can talk more. Is that okay?
It's okay, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Yeah, send text to my WhatsApp. Thank you so much, everyone.